So the starting six for Pioneer in the 23rd men's final at the National Club Championship. Hugh McCutcheon, number 3. Number 4, Mike Judson is the setter. He's the captain. Number 7, Tony Napier. Number 8, Glenn Hamilton. Number 10, Mark Demir. And Grant Morrow, number 12. Looking at the starter lineup, Alan Pierce is the captain. Number 2, Warren Smith. Number 4 is Brian Doherty. He's the setter. Number 7, Mark Dixon. Number 9 is Tom Miller. And number 10, Howard Chan. Of the 23 final, Sparta has won 12 and Pioneer 5, so Graham Peter is no surprise to see these two here once again.
No, they are indeed old foes, Jeff. For the last 5 years, doesn't it, in the final. A number of these players have won national titles, and here they're endeavouring to do it again. Alan Pierce, captain of this team, about to serve.
7 men's final of the 23rd National Cup Championship is underway.
Uncharacteristic error for Alan Pierce. He won't be happy with that start. It's given the advantage to Dudson and Pioneer. Net foul by Sparta, plus a poor receive of serve. Pioneer has made a good beginning.
Well, Alan Pierce off to a poor start for Sparta. Here he is again. Puts the dig in, there's the set. And a good block for Pioneer.
Hugh McCutcheon and Mark Demir strong in the front court.
So Mike Judson serves again. Pioneer with a 2-0 lead. But Howard Chang able to get the serve back.
The block was there, but the ball went out of court.
So Mark Dixon now, serving for Sparta. Oh, that's a good pickup. Judson again to set for Pioneer. There's Napier. Mark Dixon again for Sparta. The call was it might have been going up, and Glenn Hamilton played it anyway. There's Napier.
He's put it in the net.
And a frantic start. It's 2-2 in this first set as Mark Dixon serves again for Sparta. That's a very good pickup by Morrow. Here's Napier again. So Judson gets the chance. And set by McCutcheon for Napier, and he put it wide.
Great backcourt work by Sparta to keep that alive, Jeff.
The Judson set for Pioneer. Mark Demir spikes the ball across and wins the serve back for Pioneer. And in fact, Mark Demir to serve. Pioneer 2-3 down. There's Alan Pierce. Set by Doherty. And the block between Napier and Morrow, good enough. Watch for the 2 number 4s this afternoon. They're the setters. Brian Doherty for Sparta. Mike Judson for Pioneer. Well, they go for the lovely little tip, and it works very well, too. Tom Miller, the 28-year-old, been a New Zealand player since 1983, got that one across and over. Glenn Hamilton with the dig, Judson with the set for Morrow.
Grant Morrow, an ex-Sparta player, he's in the other camp here today.
So Hugh McCutcheon serving for Pioneers. 3-3 in this first set. Judson with the set. This is Grant Morrow. Oh, they go for the set. And Tony Napier worked it very well for Pioneer. There was space behind the front row, and he exploited it well.
Here comes Tony Napier behind the block. The ball falls dead. The spike was out, but it clipped the hands of the block. So Sparta win that rally. And Howard Chang to serve.
That's Glenn Hamilton with the strike.
Interesting, Glenn Hamilton is making most of the bumps, Jeff. Very, very strong bumper. Now we've got the double substitute here whereby Mike Judson, the setter, comes off as he's about to go into the front court to be replaced by a taller player, and Reed Hamilton, New Zealand setter, comes on to serve, and he'll set across the back court.
Mike Judson just 1.75 metres, the shortest player in the game.
Lovely block. You can see the effect of the substitution. Tony Churcher comes on and makes a strong block.
There's Reed Hamilton with the serve for Pioneer. Oh, and Hamilton went for a great pick-up too, but couldn't quite get underneath it enough. Pioneer leading 5-3, but it's Sparta to serve. Tom Miller with it. Confusion in the Pioneer attack. Now it's Sparta's turn. And that's good enough. Mark Dixon spiking well. That ball following Glenn Hamilton around across the front.
Lovely move by Glenn Hamilton to go out on the right post and hit a winner down the line.
So here's Grant Morrow to serve.
Oh, yes. That's Alan Pearce at his very best. Fine bump. Gave Sparta the option of the quick play, and Pearce was too good for the Pioneer blockers.
Pioneer has a height advantage. Do you think that Sparta will be going through the middle?
I think they've got to. I think they've got to play a quick game to defeat the bigger block.
There it is again, a fine example of just what we were talking about. And Alan Pearce at 1.98 metres, the tallest man in the Sparta team, hammering down that spike. 5-all now. Sparta serving. There's Glenn Hamilton again, but that's too big. So Sparta in front now, 6-5.
Yes, and there's Pearce again, this time making a block through the middle. He really is the dominant figure in this early stage of the game.
He's a hard man to get the ball past when he's 1.98 metres.
He's a very experienced player as well.
So Brian Doherty with the serve. Here's Tony Churcher. So Sparta sets again. That's a good recovery.
That's an unforced error there by Mark Kinnear. Leaves the advantage with Sparta.
Sparta leading 8-5 as the first timeout of the game is called. Here's Pioneer. Graham, what do you think the coach will be saying there?
I think they've got to counter Alan Pearce to the middle. They've got to put the bumps under pressure so that Sparta lose that option.
Tony Barnett laying down the law at the moment. Pioneer with that height advantage. How are they likely to exploit that?
They've got to really get the ball to the outside quickly so they get a one-on-one situation where there's one attacker and one defender. Pioneer are happier to play the game at a height, whereas Sparta looking to play the game quickly. Low set, lots of attacks through the middle.
So look for number 1 in the white jersey. That's Alan Pearce. He's the captain of the side. Much of the attacking play will be directed his way. Not for the moment, though. An unforced error from Brian Doherty serving the ball out, just as Sparta did on the very first point of the game. There's Glenn Hamilton, a good low serve. There's Alan Pearce.
Yes, a tip, and he's used the block. The ball's gone out of court, but now Alan Pearce goes to serve. Remember, in volleyball, a team rotates. All players must play all positions. Alan Pearce is no longer a spiking threat for Pioneer.
Started serving, 8-5 up. Bit of desperation there from Pioneer. There wasn't much they could do.
Net touch by Mark Kinnear. Leaves the service with Alan Pearce. We're seeing Alan Pearce use a spike serve. The ball will drop quickly. The bumpers need to move in. Sparta not really ready for the ball coming back on the first play. And the referee's called 2 hits. Bit of confusion.
The pace on that serve is really quite something. I think Pioneer really just returned it because it was such a powerful serve. So Mike Judson back on now. Going for the tip to exploit the space behind the people at the net, but it's not working that time. Hugh McCutcheon spiking the ball down. The point to Pioneer. 6-9 now the score. A quick set to Howard Chang, and he took advantage of that for Sparta. So service back to Sparta, Mark Dixon. New Zealand rep since 1983.
Notice that Pioneer reversed that substitution, so Mike Judson, the captain, is back on to set.
And here he is now. Mark Judson, number 4 for Pioneer. Well, the ball not returned properly by Sparta. They never really dug it properly and couldn't set it up. Tony Napier there to put the ball away for Pioneer. 7-9 the score. Pioneer down, but serving. And serving badly. An unforced error gives the ball back to Sparta. So here's Judson to set Pioneer for Tony Napier. There's a net touch caught against Howard Chang. Had the finger pointed at him. I don't think he quite believes it.
Very nervous start by both these teams. A lot of errors.
This is Glenn Hamilton. Mark Dixon tried to get underneath it, but it spun away from him and spun off him.
It was a net touch anyway, Jeff. So once again, we've got errors from Sparta.
Score closing up at 8-9 now. Pioneer just 1 point behind and serving. And the ball hit wide, that ties it up. Good fella serving for Pioneer, this by Hugh McCutcheon. Well, they all left it for each other in the Sparta defense. The cry was yours.
Timeout called by Sparta. The pressure's now gone back on them. Score 9-10.
Not surprising the timeout's being called. They conceded a number of quick points, and Pioneer is back in front 10-9. Good spell of serving by Hugh McCutcheon.
On the edge quick, draw them up. Seeking to draw that centre player. At the moment, they've got the two strong guys on the outside. To work the centre and possibly draw a combination in any of them. Centre's having a field day in centre.
Neville Thompson, very experienced player for Sparta, played in 7 title-winning teams himself, suggesting that the key to the game is through the middle, and that's where Sparta need to stamp their authority in this game. That's the middle of the net, quick attack.
The play resumes. 10-9 to Pioneer. Make that 11-9.
They tried it. It was a lovely move. First wave came in, and second hitter came in, hit the ball, but it was blocked. The block read the play.
So here's Judson to set for Glenn Hamilton.
Lovely hit from Tom Miller. 2 blocks on him, but he got the ball down.
It's difficult for Sparta with their taller opponent. They want to play it through the middle. Obviously, Pioneer will be aware of that. They'll have the blockers in place. Tony Napier rescues that ball, and Napier nets it.
Pioneer under some pressure receiving. They've had difficulties in this tournament, settling on 2 good receivers off the serve. Watch where the serve goes. The captain under pressure again, but a better bump.
That's a good pickup by Warren Smith. So Tony Napier to the setter for Glenn Hamilton. Sparta has rescued that. Oh, great play by Alan Pierce to pick that up. Good reaction. The set for Glenn Hamilton. He sits it. Oh, lovely pickup too by Warren Smith. And a great rally, terrific rally, ended by Tom Miller spiking the ball and the block not being able to cope. It's a tied ball game. It's 11 all. The pressure on Howard Chang to serve. And Grant Morrow strikes. The bounce off the block. The key to the game is in that first shot. We've just seen 2 very good bumps by Hugh McCutcheon, and that created good options for Pioneer. So it's Tony Napier now serving for Pioneer. It's 11 all. His first set. The serve now back with Sparta. Tom Miller, the man with the job to do. Remember, it's the first to 15 that wins the set. Custom with the dig. Here's Glenn Hamilton.
I think the Sparta team has picked out Hugh McCutcheon as the weaker receiver of the serve kit. They're definitely serving at him and keeping the serve away from Glenn Hamilton, who really is a very good thumper.
The Grant Morrow goes off. And Isaac Bashara comes on, and he's serving at 11 all. Warren Smith with the jig. And Judson deflected it, but Bashara couldn't get there despite the valiant effort. The serve rocking backwards and forwards now. These two sides very even. Dougherty serves. Bashara with the dig. Oh, and they nearly missed it.
The touches are costing Sparta badly at the moment, Chris.
Pioneer got out of that. There's some definite confusion in the back court. Just a case of leave it, I'll take it. Howard Chang. Oh, that's a good pickup by Matapu.
Unfortunate call of 2 hits in the back court. Lovely pickup by Napier, but also a lovely attack by Sparta using a combination of the net.
So the responsibility now on Captain Alan Pierce for Sparta. Big serve. Here's Judson. And Pania puts the spike away. It's just rocking backwards and forwards. Neither side able to get the advantage from 11 all in this set. As the Pioneer captain, Mike Judson, serves.
Yes, that bump put the setter, put Ryan Dowd under a lot of pressure, and he had to set the ball very close to the net and made an uneven contact of the ball, which called for a 2 hit.
A lot of 2 hits, a lot of net touches in this first set.
With Warren Smith exploiting the block, left-handed hitter, blocked on the right side for Pioneer, the ball tipped there outside and went out of court.
Pioneer leading 12-11. Sparta serving though. Oh, the quick set from the captain, and it worked.
That's Pioneer reversing that substitution. They've had their 6 substitutes this set. We can expect them to use their bench more than Sparta.
Martinia serving. Tom Miller's working well on that post.
Yes, once again, the outside of that right block for Pioneer, and it's gone out of court.
Sparta 1 point down, trying to get back into it. There's Natapu. Oh, he hit that well. Off the block and out.
There's very high hit from Tony Natapu, and it all came from the lovely Glenn Hamilton bunch.
We're seeing a greater variety in the play of Pioneer. They're certainly playing it wider. Sparta still looking to go up the middle.
Lovely hit from Alan Pierce. He's a backcourt player. He must take off before the 3-metre line. He did that and hit the winner.
Alan Pierce, the one player in the Sparta lineup who can match the Pioneer team for height. Here's Judson setting to Glenn Hamilton. Pierce setting. Well, Alan Pierce says, I never did, but he's been called for a 2-touch.
Craig Phillips, the referee, being hard but consistent on uneven contact of the ball.
And the players won't want any more than consistency from the referees. 12-11, Pioneer at the front, and Alan Pierce says, well, no mistake this time. Take that.
Lovely hit. Sparta really are very impressive when that first pass on the ball to the centre is accurate.
Tom Miller serving for Sparta now. McCutcheon with the dig. Set for Glenn Hamilton. Oh, he hit that long.
Came off the hands of the block though, so Pioneer win the rally. Very good move, Glenn Hamilton. He's used that quite a bit where he comes around to the right-hand side.
John Morris serving now for Pioneer. They tried a quick set up the centre and it works again, paying dividends for Sparta with Alan Pierce.
Lovely move by Alan Pierce. He came into the centre, hesitated, the blocks went up, and then he went up and hit it clean.
So the Sparta setter, Ryan Dougherty. A New Zealand player last year in this, serving. He's Judson with the set. Kinnear spike blocked by Alan Pierce. You've got to get it past 1.98 metres of him, and that's no easy task. Into no man's land goes the set.
13-12 to Sparta. Very, very close set. Mistakes creeping in, but Pioneer under a lot of pressure in the middle when Alan Pierce is in the front court for his team.
Hey, you guys, look, we're not getting next on people. They're just going to finish in, right? We're no block or half block. Well, we took 2 on them. What position is nice if you only have time for it? Box down
You heard the question, what position is Mike? He's just working on their positional play.
He's referring to Mike Judson. Alan Pearce in front court for Sparta, posing a real threat. Pioneer need to win this rally to stay in the set. Yes.
Well, it looks like they've got their positional play sorted out. Judson set up Napier. Despite good enough to win back the serve. It's 12-13 now.
The problem for Pioneer there was that Mike Judson's a front court player, and he's giving away a lot of height to Alan Pearce. Alan Pearce, an accurate bounce, tremendous hit through the middle. Pearce really was dominant when he went across the net, but now he's in the back court. And Sparta must continue without him in their front court.
Talking about the height difference, Alan Pearce 1.98 meters. Mike Judson was only 1.75.
That's the best part of the pictures. More than that, almost a foot. Set point for Sparta.
That was a great spike by Warren Smith. Alan Pearce has the serve. Judson with the set. Napier. Napier hit it long. Pioneer with a set that they dominated at the outset and might have gone on to win, have in fact had it turned around on them. They've lost the first set 15-12.
The dominant factor there really was Alan Pearce. He made such progress across the front in terms of his team scoring, and then he went to serve and served well.
Such a tough man to get the ball past when he's blocking at the net.
Yes, the New Zealand team this year toured Australia and did very well indeed, narrowly losing a test series 5-4. Alan Pearce had an injury and wasn't in that team, but I think he will take a place back when he's fully recovered.
The Sparta winning the first set of this best-of-5 set final, 15-12. We'll be back in a moment.
Tonight, in Saturday Night at the Movies, Terry Mason returns to the courtroom when the heir to a vast family fortune mysteriously disappears from sight.
Everybody knows this lake's reputation for not giving up its bodies.
It's the case of the Lady in the Lake. With the town hell-bent on revenge, Mason's life is in danger.
Get out of here. Just get out.
The Lady in the Lake, 8:30 tonight, in Saturday Night at the Movies, on 1.
First 15-12. They came back to win the second 15-7. They worked out Alan Pearce in the quick set much better. Dominated early and they didn't let up. And it's in the third set now. It's one set all. And the score now 8-7 in favour of Sparta.
Alan drifted along with it and dropped inside the line.
So it's the Sparta setter, Brian Doughty with the serve. Sparta leading 8-7. Cesaro with the dig. Oh, that's a good block. They have Alan Pearce in the front row to Sparta. Oh, word, he's a hard man to get that ball past.
Yes, when the set's that high on the post, Pearce has got time to get out, form a two-man block. It's very hard to hit past two blocks, and one of them is Alan Pearce.
Mark Napier comes back on for Pioneer. Stan Miller goes off. Sparta serving again. There's Judson with the set for Bashara.
Fine block.
The presence of Alan Pearce in the front row makes all the difference to Sparta. They now lead 10-7. Dougherty serves. Bashara again with the dig. Tony Kershaw.
Nice hit. Pearce didn't get outside to a two-man block then, and Kershaw had Mark Dixon on his own, and that was a matchup he could win. He now goes off court to allow the setter to come back on. Reed Hamilton comes into serve, and the other two comes into the front court. Pioneer's double substitution.
So Reed Hamilton with the serve.
It's a nice move. Alan Pearce comes in behind. Centre blocker didn't get there, and he had space.
But Pearce with his powerful serving. Doesn't make much difference to Pioneer, though. Napier wins it back. And more importantly, Pearce is now in the backcourt. Tony Napier called for touching the net. Remember, it's the first of 15 wins the set. 10-7 Sparta lead with the serve. Mark Dixon serving. Oh, well picked up Glenn Hamilton. Tony Napier netted it. It's 11-7 now as timeout is called. To get close in on the Pioneer huddle, see what they're planning.
Just concentrate. You guys, you know you've all got a chance. Come on, you've got to concentrate. Concentrate on your car.
Well, the message was simple and straightforward from Pioneer coach Tony Burnett. Doesn't hurt to be reminded of it, though. Concentration.
It's more of a psychological timeout, perhaps, than a tactical one. Yes.
So it's Mark Dixon serving for Sparta. Sparta with that 4-point lead. Reed Hamilton, the setter. It's a short set.
Yes, McCutcheon got the better of Kane the first time. Sorry, Kane got the block in the first time. The second time around, McCutcheon got it past him.
Hugh McCutcheon's having a big game this afternoon. Reed Hamilton sets. This is Glenn Hamilton.
Very good block. Warren Smith from that right post.
Glenn Hamilton, what a good backcourt player he is.
It's off Tom Miller, out of court. Pioneer has the serve again.
They'll have to start pulling back this deficit soon. They're 4 points down in this third set. 7-11 the score. And set now is a quick set for Tom Miller.
Nice work. Just a light touch down the front of the block. His experience going, using the block.
So Howard Chang. Oh, there's not a good dig. Chance to settle it down. There's McCutcheon.
Tom Miller mid touch there against Pioneer, the serve.
The ball was all over the place there. They never got a chance to settle in that rally, but here's McCutcheon with the serve.
Yes, nice combination, Sparta. In the bump is accurate, they have excellent combinations. Watch this. The bump straight to the setter. Pierce fakes. Tom Miller around behind, puts it away. Confusion on the Pioneer side. Attempted combination, but the coordination for the setter hitter was not there.
So Bishara with the dig. There's Mark Napier, and he got high for that to strike it down, and Tom Miller had no answer. The Pioneer 12-7 down in this third set, but with the serve. Glenn Hamilton. Oh, good touch, Brian Doherty.
What's this? This is a setter playing as a front court player. He's allowed to play the ball over, and he does with his left hand. To speed Pioneer, despite the fact that he would have done that 3, 4, perhaps even 5 times so far in this match. And it's usually when he's front right, just as he goes to serve.
He's been playing in a very intelligent fashion, as Brian Doherty, using the space of the court well. Here's Mark Napier. Oh, quick set. Alan Pierce.
Doherty was very slow coming in to make the set, but he just got there and no more. And when you've got someone of Pierce's height and ability right beside you, then the set, if it's there or thereabouts, here we'll see it again. Doherty comes in late. He only just gets to this, but it's enough for Pierce.
Pierce timed his jump very well. Doherty now serving, needing just 2 points for the third set.
Strong hit from Napier. Block just a little bit back off the net, and he got the ball down the front of the block, between the block and the net.
Pioneer, the defending champions, in danger of going a set down in this 1990 final at the Centennial Hall in Napier. Here's Napier.
That's nice. It used the block.
That's one of the points pulled back. They're still 5 behind, 13-8 down.
Well, that's bread and butter to tell you now, Napier. If you bump the ball over the net at him, he'll knock it straight back at you.
Confusion between Miller and Chang. They both started to go for it, and in the end, Miller just had a desperate lunge at it. It was well set up for Pioneer. 13-9 the score now. Pioneer coming back. You don't get to be 3 times national champion without showing fight and grit. That's exactly what they need in this third set.
Isolate him in the centre again. Beautiful combination there on the one round the other, on the switching. Try and just keep that going. Now, number 8 is doing the cover behind the block. Get in now. So he's got to come all the way across and go all the way back. Make him run and then play it to side. Don't give him any more work.
Sparta's tactics get Glenn Hamilton, key backcourt player for Pioneer. The Sparta coach, Neville Thompson, has worked out that Glenn Hamilton's carrying the load in the backcourt and they want him to do a bit more. So he's less effective when he's in the front court and got the spike as well.
First things first, though, they need to serve back. Reed Hamilton serves the Pioneer.
3-4 bump. No options available to a setter when the bump is bumped into the net.
So the difference now is 3 points. Pioneer coming back. 10-13 down.
We are seeing a great struggle here today. Two teams that have contested New Zealand Championship finals 4 of the last 5 years.
Sparta won this title 4 times in a row in the early 70s. Pioneer has won the last 3. Going to equal the record today, but they won't be serving like that. So now Alan Pierce, captain of the Sparta team, has the responsibility at 13-10. Set by Napier for Natapu. Napier serving for Pioneer. Is Chang. Glenn Hamilton, good backcourt player that he is. Couldn't get underneath that.
The feeling's really developing here, Jeff. When hits and blocks are made, there's quite a bit through the net going on. Talking, pointing, looking. Old rivals are really nothing given. That one goes to McCutcheon. McCutcheon over Chang.
And he's a man who'll have plenty to say about the match today. He's playing a blinder. Bishara serves for Pioneer. It's still 13-10.
Free ball to Pioneer. They should be able to put this away.
McCutcheon.
Yes, they do. 12-13.
Those great reflexes by Chang. They kept Sparta in the game, but McCutcheon was able to put it away. And timeout called yet again in this third set. 2 points the difference now. Pioneer coming back well.
Both coaches have used both their timeouts.
Go back to another one. Double team them, then swing the other way. It goes to the side. Okay, where you go? No, it gets to the early release to the back court. Push.
Another settling timeout. Not too much tactics, just get the team back on court, feeling positive.
The message is loud and clear and simple enough. Go out there and get 2 more points. But they also have to get the serve back. And now Pioneer need only 4 more points to win the set. 11-13 the score, and they're serving. Here's Sparta. Chang's able to get the ball down. A big wide smile on the face of Howard Chang.
Yes, that was one to Chang over McCutcheon.
Warren Smith serving now. 13-11. McCutcheon ran the fake. That's Napier with the spike. And Warren Smith really didn't dig it too well. He set up Glenn Hamilton.
Isaac Bashara's having a big part in this game. He's doing some great receiving of the serve that's enabling the Pioneer attack to get started.
Reed Hamilton and Hugh McCutcheon went up for the block. A lovely tip there. The service back to Sparta. Howard Chang serving 13-11. 2 points still required for the third set and a 2-1 lead in this best of 5-set final. Just a short delay while they're wiping the court. Now Chang serves. There's Reed Hamilton with the set. Glenn Hamilton pounds the ball down and Howard Chang can't get underneath it. Well, that was really set up by the power of Alan Pierce, and Tom Miller able to exploit the space left created by the confusion and the power of Alan Pierce's spike. but the score remains the same. Still 13-11. The service going backwards and forwards. Nobody able to make any advance over the last couple of minutes. Here's Bashara with the dig. Oh, it was a quick set to Napier, and he put it away. The block there of Alan Pierce, also Mark Dixon, ineffective. But Glenn Hamilton has the serve now. Remember, 11-13. Warren Smith.
Nice hit by Glenn Hamilton. Lovely hit.
He's another one who's had a big game and really come into it in this third set. And he served. 12-13 now the score. Miller could do nothing but just push it back. There's Bashara.
3 blocks there. Very strong defense, putting up 3 blocks, but if they're not perfectly timed and they bump into each other, someone can easily touch the net, and that's what happened then.
So it's 13 all now. Pioneer has the advantage, but no longer. Mark Dixon, a top spike.
Lovely hit. Only 1 block on him in a 1-to-1 situation. The hitter is likely to win.
So it's the team setter for Sparta, Brian Dougherty. Everything just seemed to hang in slow motion for a moment, but Mark Napier came out on top for Pioneer.
13 all. No one wants to give away that set advantage.
Well picked up by Glenn Hamilton.
Yes, Alan Pierce did neither one thing nor the other there. He tried to set it across the net, but it ended up going across the net. He's not a setter, and that was a 2-hit score on him.
And now we have set point for Pioneer. They really have fought that well. And Sparta have a lot to do here. The ball's got to go over. But Glenn Hamilton gets the chance to set it. Here's Napier.
Yes, good block by Dixon, although he didn't get a hand to it. The ball went into the net. He was in good position, and he put pressure on Mark Napier. The players have been playing very hard. They're sweating a lot. Every time somebody dives, we get sweat on the floor. That's dangerous. And the officials come out to mop it up.
Pioneer has shown great character to come back in this first set.
Well, not the role of captain, the Sparta, serving out when the team's down 13-14.
So it's set point again to Pioneer. To go 2-1 up in the specified set final. There's Howard Sang. Glenn Hamilton couldn't control that. The serve back to Sparta, saving a second set point in this third set. Mark Dixon, the man with the responsibility. Good low serve, but well picked up.
Yes, nice hit. Only 1 block, and quite a short one at that. Not if we got it past. Got it past Warren Smith.
Set point again. There's Miller. And saved again by Sparta. Still 13-14. This is tight. This is tense. This is great volleyball. The men's 1990 club championship final. There's McCutcheon. Smart, he's playing well all afternoon, and he hits that ball hard. No wonder they give him the responsibility of spiking the ball down. And yet again, set point. Tony Natafi to serve.
Yes, that was what Bill Thompson, the Sparta coach, was talking about. 2 timeouts ago to push the Pioneer backcourt around, to trip over the block and make the backcourt cover work hard.
Both sides showing great character. Here's McCutcheon again. Oh, Chang recovers very well. 2 or 3 Pioneer players calling mine. And the block goes out. The Pioneer get another chance now to tie up this third set. 14-13, and it's McCutcheon serving. Set for Pierce.
Block goes out. That's 4 set points Pioneer have had. Haven't converted any of them.
And Alan Pierce at the centre in the front row. A big advantage for Sparta. Here's Glenn Hamilton.
Net touch Brian Doughty. Reaching up. Not a tall man by volleyball standards. 6 foot barely. Reaching for that block. Touch the net.
So here's Glenn Hamilton serving. It was a quick set.
Great move. Great move. Alan Pierce comes in front of the setter. Comes in front of the setter. Goes around behind. No block. Thank you. Lovely play.
But just as quickly, Pioneer come back, and Reed Hamilton with a lovely touch over the front row. And it's set point yet again, 14-13, Pioneer leading. Here's Pierce.
Oh, big gaps behind the block. Big gaps behind the block. Poor bump by Sparta. They shouldn't have won that rally. Pierce made him to exploit the high reach he's got. Tipped it over the block.
But Pierce is now away from the front row. He has to serve.
Watch this. Pierce comes in. Step back from the net. Swings his arm back. Looks like he's going to hit it. And then just tips it over.
You'd have to expect it to come powering down, like his serves, in fact. Hamilton picks it up, and Chang is there.
Pressure on the receiver. Glenn Hamilton, a great receiver, but he didn't quite get low enough on that bump. Sparta put it away. 14 all.
Put it down to the power of Pierce's serving. And you can put that down to the power of Pierce's serving as well. He goes long.
Remember, a set must be won by 2. However, first to 17 does win the set. Does not go beyond 17. Oh, into the net and down.
McCutcheon had a lot to do. He was quite a way away from the net. It's still 14 all. Oh, McCutcheon again, this time with a little tip, but it's recovered by Sparta. There's Miller. And now it's set for Napier. Good recovery by Sparta. Is Chang trying to exploit that space behind the front row, but recovered by Pioneer. Napier wins the rally.
Big rally. Good rally to win it. 14 all. Nobody was prepared to hit. Everyone was playing safe. Tip, off-speed hit. Finally Napier up and whacked it. Put it away.
14 all in the third. The place getting a bit tentative, but nothing tentative about that from Howard Chang.
So many side outs. Points not being won, service changing, and it's still 14 all.
This is pressure volleyball. 14 all in the third. Sparta had a big lead. Pioneer clawed back into it. Set for Pierce.
Pierce from the back court. 3, maybe 4 meters from the net. Up he goes. Down the ball. Now they have set point. Pioneer had 4 set points. Now Sparta have got 1. Not a block to be seen. He couldn't get it down. It went deep. 2 sets to 1 to Sparta.
Well, Sparta really should have wrapped that up much earlier than they did. They let Pioneer come back. Pioneer played very well, could come back. But in the end, Sparta did it the hard way. 16-14 in the third. They lead 2 sets to 1.
Sunday in Mogul Masterpiece Theatre, the conclusion of the Ginger Tree. War is brewing in Japan, and Mary's life is in danger.
Why should I want to go to America?
Because I cannot guarantee your safety.
I think you better have the house. What?
After 30 years alone, a marriage proposal.
1990 Men's Club Championship final between Pioneer and Sparta. Just before the break, we saw Sparta take a marvelous third set, 16-14. It's going to be tough now for Pioneer. They fought back well to get into that third set and to get back into it. Now they've got to climb back into the match from 1 set down. The captain back on the court, Mike Dodson, he's serving. Here's Warren Smith. Sparta must be charged up after winning that adrenaline-pumping third set. Well recovered by Dodson. Set for Tony Kircher, and he recovers well. McCutcheon to Kircher again. Howard Chang got a hand on it, but not enough of one.
Strong start to the rally. Pioneer have made 3 changes. They've brought out Mike Pepper, they've brought out Tony Kircher, and they've brought out their captain Mike Dodson. Making full use of their bench.
Well, we've seen it time and time again this afternoon, and we'll certainly see it again. Alan Pierce with the quick set.
Lovely hit. Ball just hung, waited for a moment. Up he went. Put it away.
And Alan Pierce is serving. There's Dodson. On court now is Chesser for Pioneer. Warren Smith for Sparta.
Yes, good hit by Tony Kircher. Hit the block along the top of the net. Hit the antenna.
This is the 23rd National Club Final. Sparta's 112, Pioneer 5. Two top club sides in this country. They're competing well in this 23rd final. Here's Warren Smith. Went wide. So here's Hugh McCutcheon. Good low serve. On a quick set for Howard Chang.
Yes, Pioneer have got Mark Tamir off court at the moment. Now watch this. Up goes Chang, straight down. Pioneer have got Mark Tamir, who's really their specialist centre front player, off court. And that may well leave a bit of a hole in the middle.
So Sparta serving, Pioneer leading 2-0 in this fourth set. And they've got the serve back. Mike Pepper, 21-year-old, is 1.93 metres. Chance for Sparta to set again. Pierce on the back court.
Yes, nice backcourt hit. The blocks were there, but they weren't reaching over the net. And the ball went out of court off the block.
So Warren Smith serving. A quick set to Howard Chang.
Up goes the setter, and there's the hit.
The Pioneer have won the serve back thanks to a good spike by Glenn Hamilton. Pioneer 2-1 in the fourth. A Tony Kircher serve.
Well, that's what that era.
Well, they looked back, but there was a definite call of out. Warren Smith responded to that and left it. Well, they were ready for Chang that time with the quick set. Here's Miller. Oh, Pierce. Judson sets for Glenn Hamilton. That's a good block too. Judson sets again for Glenn Hamilton.
He's hit it deep. Notice Glenn Hamilton was blocking in the middle there, and defensively then went out to hit on the post. I've changed the line up a little bit.
Still playing high and wide though. Oh, that's a chance for Milk. Chance for Sparta, but
Net cut by Pioneer.
to Howard Chang with the serve for Sparta. Sparta 2-3 down. Judson setting for Hamilton again. Didn't really get enough depth on the set.
It's always difficult for Pioneer when Mike Judson's in the front court. He's not a very effective blocker, not compared to a lot of the other players. He's 5'9" or thereabouts, 175. Sparta have the advantage. Pioneer have called the first timeout this set. It's always a good feeling when you know that the other coaches have to call a timeout before you've had to.
Judson had set up Hamilton high and wide on the post several times, but they haven't been effective enough in this fourth set.
Interesting change of lineup in Pioneer this time, Jeff. They've got James McCutcheon starting position. He's now back court. So is Alan Pierce. So whereas last set was an intriguing battle between Chang and McCutcheon for a dominance of the centre of the net, this time McCutcheon's going to come up against Alan Pierce, and that'll be a very interesting battle.
So an individual battle in the overall context of the game between McCutcheon and Pierce. Pierce number 1 for Sparta, McCutcheon number 3 in the red shirt for Pioneer. It's a battle to keep your eye on as the game develops. It's Sparta leading 4-3 in the fourth set. If they win this set, they take the title. Well, a quick set. Mr. Napier. And again, no, it was Glenn Hamilton.
Bad luck, just out. Nice combination. Napier comes in front of the centre. Then Hamilton goes around behind, but there's a net touch by Sparta. So, despite the hit being deep, Pioneer have won the rally.
Turning now to be serving.
Oh, nice hit. Lovely hit, Alan Pearce. Low, wide chip, just above the net.
Alan Pearce announcing his arrival at the front of the court.
Oh, and Hugh McCutcheon replies. Round behind the setter. Take that one, Alan Pearce, he said. Knocks it down.
To Glenn Hamilton now. Serving at 3-4 down.
Uncharacteristic error from Glenn Hamilton.
Just goes to show what can happen when the pressure goes on. And Glenn Hamilton's coming off.
Yes, Isaac Asara, a specialist bumper, received very well in the second set. Is on to receive again. It was an ambitious set behind the 3-metre line, behind the setter.
Tony Kircher came from a long way back to that. Here's Dodson again. Setting to Pepper. Finally get the chance to set again. That's the Pepper again. They're going high and wide.
They're trying to get it just over the block. Misjudged it slightly, but Pioneer taps the net. Another time the rally's going to get the final hit.
Errors that you just don't need in the fourth set of the Club Championship final.
McCutcheon, nice move, round behind the setter, puts it away. Pioneer using a little bit more variety at the net now.
So Mike Dodson with the job of serving Pioneer back into this game. He's got a good start because Chang's reply hit a light. So it's now 4-6. Mike Dodson at 1.75 metres, the shortest man on at the moment. Dodson calls mine and sets it up for Pepper. Pepper for Kircher.
It's well put away. Mike Dodson's experience is important out there at the moment. He was New Zealand team from 1979 to 1986, and he's played in 5 teams that have won national titles through the 80s. Trying to start the 90s with another title.
And at this stage, it's important to be used to winning.
Oh, lovely pick-up. Great reaction from Mike Dodson. Unfortunately, the ball went a little wide for anybody to get to it. He still did very well to get his hand to it.
So Alan Pearce. Pearce swapping from one captain to another.
There's nothing a setter can do with that. It's a poor bump, and they paid the price, 1 point.
Again, it's the power of Pearce's serving that forced the error. That's better. Now Pepper. Oh, I just missed the light. It's Pearce.
Backcourt hit from Pearce. Backcourt hit, but he still got it down the front of the block. I wonder how much longer Tony Barnett can leave Glenn Hamilton off court. That's a better bump. And there's the effect. Good bump, good options for the setter, and the ball was put away.
But just as Pearce is important for the front row attack of Sparta, so is Hugh McCutcheon for Pioneer, and now McCutcheon's gone back to serve.
What's this? No, the replay's come and gone again.
So it's 8-5 to Sparta, with McCutcheon to serve for Pioneer.
Yes, that's the backcourt player, Brian Doughty, the setter. Trying to play the ball over the net.
Floyd has worked for them a number of times, but not this time for Sparta. So here's Bashara, getting to Kircher. Oh. And they really were watching there. There seemed to be the assumption that the ball would go over.
I think Doughty was waiting for it to come off the top of the net so he could pick it up, but it fell really between the net and the floor, under the net, and he had no chance.
So 2.1 on McCutcheon's serve so far, and he's still serving. Great block. Here's Dodson for Kircher.
3 blocks, but he got it off the top of him. So that's good hitting, Tony Kircher. And he's been carded. Yellow card. What's Kircher? He had one attempt, had another, and then he comes. It just took the block.
So 8-all the score.
Yes, nice move. Sparta's got some lovely moves. Shank came in on the fake, and then Dixon came in, hit it down the front of the block.
Where's the post side?
That yellow card is a warning to the player. It's a violation, maybe having said something. Referee maintains very, very tight discipline. No one's allowed to say anything to the opponent. No intimidation. And the referee's picked up something and penalised the player. Another offence, and the penalty will be more severe. Nice pick up, Tarty.
So here's Kircher. And it may not be able to say anything to each other, but my word, there's plenty of intimidation going on out there.
Oh, there certainly is. There's lots of looking, lots of hard looks through that net.
Lots of pointing.
Indeed. Pioneer, it's a great deal for their depth that they can have Hamilton and Napier and Reed Hamilton. Glenn Hamilton, Reed Hamilton, and Mark Napier, all off court.
Let's go.
Good card, fellas.
Go on, you guys go for good power. Now, I'd just like to say, the last time at this point of the game, they started tipping the lead, okay? Yeah. This is the year of the tip, okay?
Yes. Tony Barnett realised in the previous set the ball was tipped a lot, and he's wondering if they'll do it again now at this crucial time in the game when the pressure really goes on. Pioneer have got 3 representatives from the New Zealand team that went to Australia earlier this year, all sitting on the bench at the moment. Wonders for their depth.
So it's 10-8 to Sparta. They have the serve. Mark Dixon serving for them. Oh, it was a good short set, and Tony Kircher put it away.
And now one of them comes back. Glenn Hamilton back into the game. Through his front court, he's coming at the net.
Glenn Hamilton for Isaac Bashara. Mike Pepper serves now for Pioneer. Oh, well, they covered Brian Doherty.
Yes, nice hit. Kircher's had a great run across the front of the net. Now he's on the right-hand side. Right-handed player, right-hand side of the net, and he's still putting them away.
Now just 1 point in it in this fourth set.
Mike Dudson went for it. I think he thought it came off the block. He got a hand to it, but the ball went out of court.
Here's Glenn Hamilton just back on the court. To Tom Miller-Seck. Here's Pierce.
Pierce out of the back court. Very, very strong player. Back court, front court, he seems to hit equally well from both positions.
Sparta 4 points away from winning the club championship.
The ball's been called in. Sparta don't like it. The crowd has reacted. The official's adamant. He says it was on the line. Now we have the Pioneer double sub. Mike Judson coming into the front court, a short player. Now Mark Napier takes his place to get extra height at the net. Reed Hamilton, New Zealand setter, takes the place of Tony Kircher, who played very well across the front, and now Reed Hamilton will take up the setting job.
Tell you what, that call was disputed. It was interesting to watch Warren Smith of Sparta urging his teammates to settle down, accept the call, and concentrate on the task ahead. So here's Pierce. Doherty and Howard Chang puts it away. They get the serve back. 11-9. 15 required to win the club championship title.
Oh, there's one of them. Glenn Hamilton, he got a hand to it, but he didn't play it very well. He played it into the net. He really needed to get the ball back in the air to keep the rally alive. What's this? Ball comes down. Glenn Hamilton gets a hand to it. Came off the net court. He didn't have much time, but he was disappointed.
3 points required. 12-9 Sparta lead. Pierce at the front of the court. Oh, well recovered Warren Smith. Pioneer keeping the ball alive. Doherty sets again for Pierce. Doherty got in his way. It's Glenn Hamilton. It's nice hit, Glenn Hamilton. Right outside, right by the first referee. Angled it straight down the front of the block. Pierce and Doherty got into a bit of a problem there, and now it's Tony Napier to serve.
Oh, he's done that, what, 6, 7 times? Lovely touch. So I'm not paying him enough attention when he's a front court player. He couldn't get away with that ploy that many times.
12-9 in the fourth set. That's a good fight. Mark Napier
signaling his return to the game. Oh, block on Pierce, and McCutcheon got it. He's happy.
And for once, that quick set up the centre didn't work for Pierce. Pulls the score back now to 10-12. And Dixon had a lot to do to get that one. Did it well, too.
Not a great timing on the hit. There were two blocks there. McCutcheon hitting on that left post. 3 points more for Sparta.
Brian Dougherty, the setter, serving a good low serve. Oh, goodness me!
That's a lucky one. That's a lucky one. Pierce doesn't like it. He's saying to the referee, they touched the net. Oh, yes, there it goes. It's fallen in court.
Came back far too quickly for Mark Dixon to react. Pierce claimed there was a net touch.
Now the double sub again for Pioneer. The captain comes on to serve, and Kircher had such a great time in the front court last time. He comes back to the front court.
Alan Pierce urging his teammates on now. They're just 3 points away from the club title. They've got to get the serve back, though. It's Dougherty.
Oh, yes. Pierce, they're putting 2 blocks on Alan Pierce. He went up to hit then. He took 2 blocks with him. McCutcheon and Kircher, they had to both go with him. A short set, a little bit wide. Round goes Mark Dixon. No block. Hits it straight down.
Pierce now in the backcourt. Oh,
Nice touch by McCutcheon. Nice touch.
He's been slamming the ball down all afternoon, and now he shows he can tip as well. He also goes to the backcourt now. He has the serve. Pioneer 10-12 down. Here's Howard Chang. And this is Tony Kircher.
Nice hit. He's played well. Strong hit on the left post. The blocks were there, but he was too strong for them.
Pioneer did strongly when McCutcheon was serving last time around. They called a timeout. It's 12-11. Sparta down. Beg your pardon, Sparta up, 12-11.
Score them in the centre. They're always going up, no matter how perfect, just controlling them in the centre. What we need to do is we can swing it either way, up to the There's not a lot of difference between the both sides. Okay?
Very composed, Neville Thompson. He's been in teams that have won this title 7 times. He knows what it's like to be out there. He's not putting extra pressure on his players by getting worked up. Very composed. Outwardly, anyway, he looks very relaxed. I think he might be burning up a little inside.
So we have the situation where Pioneer is 4 points away from winning this 4th set, whereas Sparta needs 3 points.
Oh, big block. 1-on-1. Mike Pepper. Lovely block. 21 years old.
Didn't he like that?
1-on-1. You normally back the hitter, but not the style. Look at that. Great block, and he loved it.
That's 12-all.
Oh, Tony Napier. Where is it? Where is it?
It fell beside him. Lost it completely. There wasn't time to call. 12-all. Or there was too much noise and he didn't hear it. So Mark Dixon now serving. And Pepper hits it long.
2 points. Can Sparta finish it with 4, or will it go to point rally Saturn Death this set?
13-12. Sparta now 2 points away.
Oh, turn the top in. That gives them match point. Pioneer thought it was going out. It was topspin drop.
On the line is in. Match point. Tony Kircher.
Oh,
and he shot it.
What a reply. What a powerful reply. None of this, it's match point. What's this? None of this is match point. I'll tip it. Oh, match point, I'll hit it hard.
Good block.
Another block. Napier, I think it was. Kircher was there. 2-man block.
Brian Dougherty got a hand on it, but it wasn't enough. Now they've got to clean the court. Well, getting closer and closer to the nearest breaking 5th set. It's 13-14. Sparta still need to get the serve back and win a point to take the club championship final. Pioneer, they need to push it up to 14-all first of all. Here's Dougherty. Chang with the tip, and it's good enough. It created enough confusion between back and front rows, and Sparta had the serve back at match point. The blocker thought, I'll turn and pick it up, but the cover was there. Should have listened to the cover. Didn't realise the cover had come in. Confusion. Ball out of court. Second match point. So it's Warren Smith who has the responsibility of serving at match point. And lobs it in. There's Judson with the set. For Glenn Hamilton. Oh, it's a net touch. I think every Pioneer supporter on the hall thought, did Pioneer touch the net? That would have been the net. But they didn't. Sparta did. Tony Kircher now serving. 13-14 in this fourth set. There's Pierce. Kircher's over to block. Now Glenn Hamilton with the chance. Warren Smith gets in underneath it. Howard Chang. Oh, well dived in by Tony Kircher. The set for Napier. There's the set. Oh, it's quick reaction from Pierce to keep the ball alive. There's Pepper now. Judson with the set for Glenn Hamilton. What a great rally, 14 all. Remember, you must win by 2. However, at 16 all, first to 17. So Tony Kircher now serving. Warren Smith has gone too far. Glenn Hamilton wasn't able to put the spike away. It's Tom Miller. It's out. Pioneer have a set point. So 1 point away from forcing a fifth set. They've saved 2 match points, and now they have a set point of their own. No wonder it's a timeout call. This left-hand court, yes, seems to win every set. All first 3 sets have gone to the left-hand end.
Okay, listen. That's good. It's working percentage trade. Okay, first wave, you still come early. Okay, it's good, guys. Lots of pressure, lots of blocking pressure. I need to keep listen. Keep catching up. Hey, I need a bit of help. Yeah,
Neville Thompson say you're doing well. You are, and they are. Both teams are playing exceptionally well. I hope it goes to 5. Work for percentage plays, said Neville Thompson. First they've got to get the serve down. They're set points down. Here's Pierce. Well picked up by Hugh McCutcheon. And now it's set for Glenn Hamilton. Well blocked though by Sparta. Set for Hamilton again. The fourth set. What a response. I love the way Pioneer kept hitting. The more pressure went on, the harder they hit. Some teams are tempted to tip when the going gets tough. Well, it's tough for Sparta. They had 2 match points, and now they've turned it all around. Pioneer turned it around and took the 4th set. 2 sets all. We'll be back at the Centennial Hall in Napier in a moment.
Tonight at 7, it's Mud and Glory with the Perry Tail win that caused the biggest upset in the history of the Ranfurly Shield. Marlborough's 1973 victory over Canterbury. Then at 7:30, it's Our World. Part 2 of Good Age Comrades looks at private enterprise, changing education, crime, and rock music in Russia. That's Our World. Tonight at 7:30, following Mud and Glory on New Zealand 1.
I've been to Hinamore, Pongaroa, Akaroa, Motuaka, Marlborough, Benmore, Pongaroa, Kaikouri, Wakarin, the Jackatina, Raka, Pokaroa, New, Hakawada, Matawada, Hakapokanui, Hokanui, Tapanui, Wainui, Matawai, Rongatai, Taratai, Wataroa, I'm a guy.
Now's the perfect time to call anyone anywhere in New Zealand, because no matter how far...
Woodville, Tuggerville, Lumsden, Taranaki, Napier, Cambridge, Tyra, Whitepuck, Hastings, City, Tower, Auckland, Naina, Waipa, Hamilton, Korakota, Taupo, Timaru, Oamaru, Ihoy, Oranui, Wanganui, Tamanui, that's a hui.
If you call tonight, no phone call is going to cost you more than just 61 cents a minute.
Beaverton, Palmerton, Woolston, Tiara, Moody, Rimerton, Queenstown, Fixton, Henry, White, Tangy, Tickaway, Matter, I've been everywhere. I've been here, there, everywhere. I've been everywhere.
Graham, what's the scoring system for this 5th set?
Well, it changes, Jeff. Every rally scores a point. Whereas previously you only scored points on your serve. During this set, we call it rally point. Sudden death in many respects. If you serve into the net, the opposition get a point.
All right, well, the last 2 sets have been really tight, both going to 16-14. The third set won by Sparta, the fourth set won by Pioneer.
The key thing in these first sets is to look for the team that gets an early lead. It's very hard to take back an early lead because every time you lose serve and gain it back, it's a point to each team.
So here's Alan Pierce serving.
Well, mixed up, not a great way to start. That gives the advantage to Sparta.
Pepper and Glenn Hamilton decided to leave it. The ball went in. He served so hard, this man. They didn't dare leave that one.
Oh, lovely play. The ball was not a great bump. Dutson went up to shoot it. Ball very, very close to it. He clawed it back. McCutcheon was there, whacked straight down.
And time-out ball.
Tony Barnett called a timeout there to get his team back in rotation because they were out of rotation. The wrong person was going to serve.
So Hugh McCutcheon does serve now. There's Pierce with the dig. There's set and tipped beautifully.
Near touch. Notice when the game got tough last set, Pioneer were hitting. Now when the game gets a little bit tough, Sparta off to tip. Pioneer have got to pick up those tips in the backcourt. They're easy if you can get there.
And expect to see things get just a touch tentative as the final points arrive. A premium now on mistakes.
Notice the score is 2-1. Under a normal scoring system, it would only be 1-0, but there's been two service changes. They both score.
So Mark Dixon, the man who serves.
Look out, but it came off the block. That's 2-all. Pioneer got a point. They won the serve.
Tony Kircher, the man responsible for that. Now Mike Pepper serving. That is for Tom Miller.
Well, net touches, mistakes at this time are very, very important. Every time you touch the net, the opposition get a point, regardless of who serves.
This is Warren Smith. 3-2 to Sparta. He grabbed at it, really snatched at it, did Napier. Warren Smith serving with a 4-2 advantage. Dodson sets for Glenn Hamilton. Oh, it's a good block. McCutcheon recovers well, and Dodson sets again for Glenn Hamilton. This time it's set, and it's good.
And now Pioneer tip, and they prove that they can tip just as effectively. Interesting to note during the tournament, Jeff, that Pioneer have played 2 5-setters, won them both. There's the tip, ball's clear. And Sparta played 1 5-setter, and they won that as well. Now we've had the double stub. They've done it early, Pioneer, because it's very important to get that early advantage. So Dudson's gone out of the front court, replaced by Napier, and Reed Hamilton in the back court.
There's Pierce, and he hits it with such power that McCutcheon can just deflect it into the ceiling, and it's 5-3 now, Sparta.
Pioneer's 3 points have all been when they've got the serve. They've got to hold their serve to take back the Sparta lead.
So Reed Hamilton set.
Big block. It's gone out. Off the block. Pioneer has their 4th point. But they've served it out. That's a point. That's a waste.
6-4. Sparta leading in this 5th and final set. Glenn Hamilton. Now it's set for Dixon. Blocked again. That's Miller. The quick set goes nowhere.
Oh, the service changes again. That's 5, 6, 11 points scored, but only one under a normal scoring system. It's happening very, very quickly.
Glenn Hamilton now. They're 5-6 down.
Oh, no. That's the first mistake. That's the first time we've seen Brian Doughty actually get that wrong. And that makes it 6-all. He's tipped over quite often, and normally it works. A bit of pressure this time. A bit more pressure.
But Doughty again.
Oh, net touch.
Ball is necked up. Mark Napier.
Napier knows he did it. He holds his head. He'll start another point. 7-6.
Just a bit too keen now. Brian Doughty with the serve. This is set for Napier. Oh, he delayed it well.
There's a nice Sparta net touch. 7-all. Pioneer reversed their substitution. They're bringing Dudson into the back court. They're bringing Kircher, who had a great last set into the front court. The first team to 8 points, the teams will change ends. Probably just as well, Jeff, because every team that's in the left-hand ends won, so they've got to share the left-hand end.
Bodes well for Sparta then.
Yes, indeed. Oh, they get the advantage. They get the 8-7 lead. That's always good to get there first.
So Alan Pierce is spike from the quick set gives Sparta a 1-point advantage. You'd expect it to be close. The last 2 sets went to 16-14.
Once again, the set must win by 2 until it gets to 16-all, then it's 30-17.
So Sparta serving. Alan Pierce now on the backboard.
Nice punt, Glenn Hamilton.
Tony Kircher.
Oh, great pick up off the net, Howard Chang.
The Dutchman gets the set again. Here's the captain. And again, well blocked again by Howard Chang. Here's Tony Kircher now. And it's too long.
He's been hitting very, very well. That gives an extra advantage to Sparta. Out by 2 points now. Pioneer must get the serve and keep it for 2 rallies.
Alan Pierce. Dutchman set to the captain.
Nice hit. Nice hit. Chang was up and down. The captain hit. Feet in the corner. Well placed.
The captain with a big height advantage over Chang anyway. Now he serves.
Oh, 1-on-1. Dixon gets inside Kircher. 10-8. Sparta has the 2-point lead. If the service keeps changing, they'll win.
The Dutchman set.
No block. Lovely set. Left hand on the right post. Miller arrives, but only just. Watch this. Watch this. Miller was late. He didn't quite get there. Left step for a free hit. Pioneer must hold their serve. No, they haven't. Once again, a great hit. What's this?
I think Ashara did what he could, but he couldn't get underneath it. It's 11-9.
No replay.
11-9 in this deciding set. Glenn Hamilton.
And that's by Sparta. 10-11. Once again, Pioneer must hold their serve to pull back Sparta's advantage. Otherwise, it'll slip past them. It's all on the block here.
Just 1
all
point
important.
Now they have a chance. Can they put it away?
Oh! Judson's a front court player. It wasn't a great bump, and no one went with him. There wasn't a block on the setter. That's done it 11-all.
They got up all 1.75 metres on him. What a mistake.
Sparta.
A mistake by Tony Kircher.
A point to Sparta.
12-11.
Cool and composed. But he's the only person that's in the room.
Howard Chang serving for Sparta. They're 12-11 up. Here's Glenn Hamilton.
Tip.
Warren Smith is there.
Great reading by Smith.
Set up for Pierce. And Glenn Hamilton down into the net.
Sparta have the advantage again. They're up to 13-11. 2 points away from it.
They're 2 points away. Pioneer needs 4. He's got now Glenn Hamilton.
He got it through, but Dixon picked it up.
Here's Pierce. The tip was blocked. It's the net. No, it's stepped under.
I think Pierce might have gone under the net and touched the other player. Let's watch this closely. Yes, I think he came under the net and touched. No, I'm not sure. It's definitely a violation under the net. Either foot under. However,
The upshot of it is,
now once again, Pioneer must hold serve. Not a pretty conservative serve. Got it there. And it's called out. It's called out. Wow, what a tough call that was. The linesman's looking pretty composed about it.
so now Sparta has to settle down.
Big block, but it's gone out. 14-13, Barnett doesn't like it. Barnett's saying 1,000 deaths on the bench for Pioneer coach.
Match point. The Dutchman set. Match point for Sparta.
And now Chang will Barnett. Barnett Darcy with the block. It's all over. Well, I don't know. The last point of the game, and Judson set Napier as a backcourt player. That can't be a high percentage. Look at Sparta. Oh, they realize it. What's it? He sets a backcourt player. That's hard work on that point. But good. Sparta, second last year, third the year before. They've maintained a position, 3-2-1. Pioneer looking for a fourth consecutive title. Wasn't quite good enough, but there was not a lot in it.
Pioneer had the height advantage. Sparta, they played it through the middle. Alan Pierce, the highlight of their performance. What a match it was. Great volleyball, winning 15-13 in the first. Peter, back to you.
Jeff Bryan, along with one-time Commonwealth Games road walker Graham Streeter at the Centennial Hall in Napier, and the women's final at the National Club Championships between Akarana and Smash will be a feature of Countrywide Bank Grandstand a week from tomorrow, the 5th of August.